Hello juniors, and welcome back to Computer Systems and Programming, Release 9. For this release, which is due 4-4 or April 4th, which is a Thursday, so plan your schedules accordingly, is your final project pseudocode. So last release you worked on your objective and algorithm. This release you'll be working on your pseudocode. You have a full release to work on this, so I expect it to be very detailed and you to have your plan written out fairly well. This release is due right before spring conference. So it's very important that you get this done before you come to spring conference. I want to be able to meet with you about your projects and talk you through your projects. So you need to have your projects done, or your pseudocode and objective and algorithm done before spring conference so that I can have time to look at it and we can talk through some of the options that you can go through to complete your final project. So let's look at Canvas. When we go to Canvas, we have three things. We have our Release 9, Start Here. We have our Process of Programming Pseudocode video. So this will be a video for you to watch to explain the pseudocode process. And then we have our pseudocode submission page. So on here, you can submit either a website URL or a direct document that has your pseudocode written on it, and it has a link to the activity prompt. So I want to go through the activity prompt a little bit more because I did update it. So you'll see that I added the requirements for your final project so you can have a little bit more of an idea, and I want to talk you through these. So on the bottom it also explains it. So your final projects must cover the following. It must be a working program, so I must be able to download it and run it on my computer. There must be comments on any functions and large groupings of code. So for every function that you define, you should have a comment above it saying what it does. And then if there's any large groupings of code, like in our rock, paper, scissors, we wrote a comment for each of the if statements because those were very complex if statements. So if you have any complex groups of code, you should have comments on it. You should have at least one function that returns a value. So you should be defining a function that you call somewhere throughout your program, and then it should return some sort of number or some sort of variable, and that variable is used for something. This could be very simple or very complex. So you just need a function though to show that you know how to make them. We also need you to make something that is similar in skill level to the first few projects. So we can talk about this if we feel that your project is lacking, but most of you submitted ideas that were very good for your final project. So just make sure that they're either at the same skill level or higher as the projects that we did in the very beginning of this course. And then something that can solve a problem that you usually come across. So you all have things you have to do throughout the day. So create a program that can actually help you in doing those things. It doesn't need to be something that I would find useful or that everyone in the world will find useful, but something that will help you, like an assignment organizer, which you can't use that because we've done it, but that's something that could help you as a student, but maybe won't curtail to everyone that would want to use it. And then the final part of your final project is to upload it to GitHub, which you can do afterwards. So make sure while working on your plan for your final project, your pseudocode, you have all of these worked in there somehow. So once you finish your pseudocode, which has a lengthy description here and at the bottom, you can go to this submission page, submit it as either a website URL to your Google Doc or as the document itself. And that is all we have for this release. There will be no Q&A for this release. Instead, I would like you to reach out to me specifically with any questions or comments that you may have or something that you need me to explain. So feel free to email me at any time with any questions that you have about this final project and its requirements. I will feel free to go through your project if you send it to me. So if you start working on it or you're working on your pseudocode and you want my feedback on it, feel free to send it to me and I will go take the time to go through it. All right, juniors, I'll see you later.